Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into one of history's most baffling mysteries, the Lost Colony of Roanoke. Imagine this, it's 1587, and a group of 115 English settlers, including families with children, sets up a colony on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what we now call North Carolina. These people were among the first Europeans trying to create a life in the New World. But when a supply ship returned 3 years later, the entire colony had vanished. No signs of struggle, no bodies, no settlers, just a single word carved into a tree, CROATOAN. So, what happened to them? Were they attacked? Did they move? Or is there something even stranger at play? Join us as we look into all the clues, explore the top theories, and maybe uncover something new about this centuries-old mystery. Let's dive in. To understand what might have happened to the lost colony, let's go back to where it all started. In the late 1500s, England was looking to expand and catch up to Spain, which already had colonies and treasure in South America. So, Queen Elizabeth I granted a charter to Sir Walter Raleigh, a nobleman and adventurer, to establish an English colony in North America. Raleigh chose Roanoke Island, a seemingly perfect spot with fertile land and a natural defense against potential Spanish attacks. The first settlers arrived in 1585, but they faced rough weather, food shortages, and conflicts with the Native American tribes nearby. They eventually packed up and went back to England, but Raleigh wasn't ready to give up. He tried again, sending a second group of 115 settlers, this time with families, in 1587. This group was led by John White, an experienced artist and explorer. They arrived and started rebuilding the colony, but from the start, things were difficult. Supplies ran low, relations with the Native Americans were tense, and they realized they would need more help if they were to survive. So, John White made a tough decision: he would sail back to England for supplies. He planned to return quickly, but he didn't know this would be the last time he'd see the colony as he left it. Let's fast forward to 1590, 3 years later. John White had struggled to get back to Roanoke because England was at war with Spain, and every available ship was needed to defend the English coast against the Spanish Armada. Finally, in August 1590, White made it back to Roanoke Island, only to be met with a chilling sight: silence. The entire settlement was deserted. There were no people, no signs of a struggle, and oddly, the houses were taken down carefully, as though the settlers had decided to leave in an orderly way. The only clue White found was a single word carved into a tree, CROATOAN, and on another post, the letters CRO. Now, here's the strange part: CROATOAN was the name of a nearby island, now known as Hatteras Island, and a Native American tribe that had been friendly with the settlers. White believed this might mean the colony had relocated there. But before he could go and investigate, a storm rolled in, forcing him to return to England. John White never found out what happened to his family and the rest of the settlers, and the mystery has remained unsolved ever since. Since then, there have been tons of theories about what could have happened to the Roanoke settlers. Some of these are based on historical facts, and some are, well, a bit out there. Let's look at the most popular ones. The most widely accepted theory is that the settlers couldn't survive on their own and ended up living with local Native American tribes. The word CROATOAN on the tree points to the CROATOAN tribe, who were relatively friendly with the settlers. Years later, when new English settlers arrived in Virginia, they reported seeing Native Americans with European features and who spoke English. Archaeologists have also found English artifacts in places where Native Americans lived, suggesting that some Roanoke settlers might have joined them. In 2020, archaeologists even found English pottery from the 16th century at a place called Site X in Bertie County, North Carolina. This site is about 50 miles from Roanoke, suggesting that some of the settlers may have moved inland. Another theory is that the settlers were attacked by a hostile tribe. The CROATOAN tribe, in particular, had been in conflict with the English before John White left. But if there had been an attack, We would expect to see some evidence of a struggle or destruction. Instead, the colony seemed to be abandoned in an orderly way, so this theory doesn't quite add up. Spain and England were rivals, and Spain had a strong presence in the Americas at the time. Some think that the Spanish might have wiped out the colony to prevent England from gaining a foothold. But here's the thing, there's no Spanish record of any attack on Roanoke, and it's unlikely they would have covered it up completely. Plus, if they had attacked, there probably would have been signs of violence. The settlers faced harsh conditions, with limited food supplies and potential exposure to new diseases. It's possible that an outbreak or severe famine led to their demise. But again, this doesn't explain why the settlement was taken down so neatly or why they would have left the word CROATOAN. Now, this is where things get spooky. Some believe that the settlers were victims of a curse, or even abducted by aliens. CROATOAN has become almost like a supernatural sign. The writer Edgar Allan Poe supposedly muttered CROATOAN before his mysterious death, and it's appeared in connection with other strange events. But, of course, there's no real evidence to back up these ideas, they just add to the eerie mystery of Roanoke. Recent discoveries have added a few more pieces to this historical puzzle. Modern archaeologists and researchers have been busy investigating new sites around Roanoke, using technology that John White could never have imagined. One breakthrough came from the hidden markings on a 16th-century map made by White himself. Researchers discovered marks on this map that might show the location of a secret fort inland, where the settlers may have gone. Then there's the DNA angle. Some researchers are testing the DNA of local Native American tribes to see if they might have some European ancestry, which could mean intermarriage with Roanoke settlers. This research is still in early stages, but it holds potential for future discoveries. So, why does this mystery still captivate us, even after 400 years? Well, there's something about the idea of an entire colony disappearing that's both creepy and intriguing. We're naturally drawn to unsolved puzzles, and Roanoke keeps pulling us back because it's still an open question: what really happened to those people? It also reminds us of the extreme challenges the early colonists faced and how risky it was to set off into the unknown. Roanoke represents one of those historical moments where failure and survival were constantly at odds. It's a story of courage, resilience, and the mysteries of the human experience that still remain hidden in the past. Roanoke's mystery has left a big mark on pop culture, showing up in books, movies, TV shows, and even video games. The story has inspired horror themes and eerie supernatural twists, like in the TV series American Horror Story, Roanoke, where the mystery turns into a spooky ghost story. Even video games like Assassin's Creed 3 weave in references to the Lost Colony, blending fact and fiction. The reason Roanoke remains such a popular theme is that it's open-ended. With no clear answers, creators have room to imagine everything from alien abductions to secret societies. It's become almost like a modern-day legend. As technology improves, we may get closer to solving the mystery of Roanoke. Archaeologists continue to find small artifacts, like pottery shards and tools, that hint at what might have happened to the settlers. And with advancements like ground-penetrating radar and DNA testing, there's hope that we may eventually uncover the truth. There's even a chance that regular people could help crack the case. Crowdsourcing historical mysteries is becoming more popular, and with so many people fascinated by Roanoke, it's possible that citizen historians might play a role in solving it. The Lost Colony of Roanoke has held onto its secrets for over 4 centuries, challenging historians and capturing our imaginations. While we've looked at many theories today, from integration with Native American tribes to disease, famine, and even supernatural explanations, the fact remains, we don't know for sure. Roanoke has become more than just a piece of history. It's a symbol of all the unknowns in our past and a reminder of how thin the line between survival and failure was for those early colonists. What do you think happened to the Lost Colony of Roanoke? Did they join the CROATOAN tribe, or is there something more mysterious going on? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical mysteries. And as always, stay curious, and keep exploring the unknown.